welcome back to Louisiana Homestead. How are y'all doing out there today? I hope y'all are doing just fine. Today we're going to be working with some pears. I want to thank all of you for subscribing, and for those of you who haven't, I hope you'll consider it. We picked a bunch of pears off of the pear tree. It made a bunch this year, and last night we brought them in and Mr. E helped me to peel them, and I cut them up and cored them, and we layered them in the pots with some sugar and pears over and over. Put them in the ice box last night. I just got them out, and the juice has risen in them. That sugar, what it does is it helps to get that moisture and juice out of those pears when you layer them in there like that. And what I'm gonna do is turn the pot on low, and I'm gonna keep an eye on it and keep stirring so it doesn't stick. And what I'm hoping to get is some syrup out of it, and also some canned pears. So let's take a little look at how they look this morning when I took them out of the ice box. But before we look at those, I'm going to show you just a little bit of footage of last night whenever we peeled them and cut them. We had a basket full of pears. Here's some of them peeled. Here's Mr. E peeling away for me. He's peeling them up. And over here I've been cutting them and putting them into this pan. Okay, for this next step, we're going to be doing a layer of pears in the bottom of the pan. See there? It's not a thick layer of pears. I just have one single layer of pears here. I'm using a big pot like this, and I'm going to come back with a layer of sugar. Just like that. Put a little bit more. Okay, so there's my layer of sugar. Now I'm going to come back with another layer of pears. Again, it's not a thick layer. Go in with another layer of sugar on top of it. I'm doing about 2 cups on top of each layer. And you just keep going like this until you run out of pears, and the last layer you're going to end up with is a layer of sugar. Okay, here's my finished product. My last layer is the layer of sugar. Now what I'm going to do is put a lid on this, and it's going to stay like this in the refrigerator overnight. I just want to show you how much juice actually came out of them. You see, they've gone down in the pot a good bit. Whenever I put them in there last night, the pears was up to here. So they've gone down some, and the juice has extracted out of them some. And I'm going to just pull them from the side a little bit so you can see that's all pear juice that's come up. So that sugar has melted, and the pear juice has come out of there. Now the sugar on the top hasn't melted because it hasn't been down there in the juice. But whenever I get it onto the stove, and turn that heat on low and start stirring it and mixing it, we are going to end up with a nice syrup. So y'all just hang on to see what the results are going to turn out to be. Okay guys, my pears have been cooking for about 45 minutes on very low, and I've been keeping an eye on them and stirring them from time to time. I just want to show you how much the water or the juice has come up in them, because I haven't added any water actually. It's just the juice from the pears. But look how much juice has come out of these pears. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure nothing's sticking on the bottom, and I'm using this little thin wooden spoon so that I don't damage my pears too much when I do stir them. I have some jars in my canner with some water in there and a rag at the bottom, and I'm just going to sterilize them in this. I'm going to bring the heat up, let them start boiling, then I'll remove these jars and add some more. I know a lot of people like to sterilize their jars in the oven, but I'm just sterilizing mine like this today to keep the heat down in the kitchen somewhat. I figure since I have to have the canner going anyway, I just as well sterilize my jars right there in it. You know, pie filling has got to be so expensive lately, and the apple pie filling is what I would like to have, but since I don't have any apples and I do have pears, and pears are kind of similar to apples, especially when baked in a pie, which is what I'm wanting these for, I figure I can get me some pie filling like this, and I can also get me some jars of syrup like this. So this is going to be a very good use of my pears for me. In order to make the syrup, you have to let the pears stay in the juice long enough to start turning color. Now that the pears are a nice brown, and they have been in there for probably 3 hours cooking. Believe it or not, they are still firm. See that? Still firm. I'm now going to remove the pears to another pot where I'm going to thicken them using some surejell. Now, I'm not going to thicken them to where they will be like a jelly, but just so that I can use them as a pie filling. So I'm going to start on that now. Now, into a cold cup of apple juice, I'm going to add my pectin, which is, in this case, a box of surejell. And I'm going to just whisk that in. The reason I'm using the apple juice is because I need something cold to mix this pectin into. And the apple juice will be perfect since I'm making basically a mock apple pie filling using the pears. Okay, so now we have this mixed together, and we're going to add that into our pears that we have separated from the syrup. We're going to bring this up to heat, and then we're going to start putting this into some jars. While it's coming up to heat, I'm going to add a little bit of spices to it. I'm going to add some apple pie spice to it. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. And since I just have a tiny bit left in here, I'm going to go on ahead and add that because it's not much anyways. And this consists of cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. And you see it is starting to thicken up a little bit, which is just what I wanted. It smells so good. Just like apple pie filling should smell. So I think this is going to make a pretty good mock apple pie filling. Alright, y'all, this looks good. Looks real good. Okay, I think we are ready to start putting this into some jars. It's going to thicken up because it has that surejell in it. Okay, this is going to be at a rolling boil that can't be stirred down at 220 degrees for 5 minutes. Then it's going to go into our jars. Doing them one jar at a time because I want everything to stay very hot. Well, I processed all of my jars for 10 minutes in a water bath canner. I got 6 jars of the pear preserves or pear pie filling. I could use it either way. I got 2 pints of the pear syrup. So I'm very proud with the turnout, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you'll like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.